We
Welcome,
are
everybody.
Here.
That's
Hey,
right.
We got two of the bros. One of the bros is out. He's on a softball game. He thinks he's hitting dingers all day.
Two bros, one podcast. All right.
One podcast. So we got Kyle here. We got James. Right. We are here to have a great time with you guys on a slow week of news because a lot of these players are out and about doing their thing and getting ready for the season. So,
hey, it's all good though, but we bros, we got to start fast and we finish,
That's right, baby. That's right, Let's baby. Go. We here. And, I just want to throw one thing up real quick. Actually, I wanted to say something. I did notice off-season generally, or this is kind of the off-season, if you want to say. I saw that Jamari Sawyer got engaged, so congrats on that, my friend. Congrats on the engagement. Let's go. And then I saw Asante Samuel Jr. He was out in Cabo San Lucas just chilling, having a good time. And, this is the time. This is the time for them to go out and have a good time and, get a little rest, relaxation before the storm, basically. So
that's right. This is the calm before the storm because it's coming, baby.
It's coming,
come. It's coming.
Dude, thunder and lightning in the forecast. There we go, boy.
That's right. That's right.
We've had some monsoons out here already, a little bit here in Arizona.
For sure.
So we are starting to see that storm out here. So it's rolling through. And then nice. What else? What was the other thing that we saw too? Oh, I just saw Dayon still pumping iron, dude. He looks like he's got his own personal gym, doing his thing.
Oh, that's good.
So he's out there doing it. So some of these guys, man, are just going to stick around, I'm sure, and just have a good time being out here.
Right.
So
I think some of them have already kind of went on their little trips and stuff like that. Yep. So especially the second year players. So, but But we got a lot of we don't really have a whole lot to talk about today, just saying. So we want you guys to interact with us a little bit more, we'll talk and we'll wrap up and just have kind of a bro session, But we do have a few things to talk about today, So we got we'll kind of keep you guys informed about the salary cap. We got some players in mind that we can still reach out for. Because I don't think the Horowitz and Harbaugh, I don't think they're done. They ain't done. Yeah. They're still shopping. That's
Joe
right.
Ortiz, man, he don't sleep.
That's right.
Dude, hey, remember, slow feet don't eat. And he ain't slow trying to get them, signees,
That's right.
And then we'll also talk a little bit about just kind of the mic'd up with Jim Harbaugh, man. That was the one that we were all looking for, right? And it is there. So let's just go ahead and just get into it real quick on the intro, my guys. So, Kyle.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I'm Dayon Henley. You watching the Bo Bros podcast. Let's do it!
It's kind of weird to see that intro now and to think, okay, that was the last year that the Chargers were at the, Jack Hammett in Costa Mesa. And now the Raiders are there. It's kind of wild to see that. It's kind of weird to see that. So, but, hey, it'll be great to be back at the Bolt, or at least at the Bolt. That's going to be a phenomenal facility. Ooh, the Raiders. Dude, there's going to be some trolls showing up at our camp too. Guaranteed, dude. Guaranteed.
Yeah,
all they're going to talk about is that stupid game they end up winning against our second stringers, dude. Come on now.
Hey, well, you know what though? We got tagged on a collaboration on our Instagram about the 27-0 shutout that we dropped on them with Phillip Rivers, and LT. I think it was 2005 or whatever. That we didn't gloat about that thing enough. I think that was the first time that the Raiders were shut out in like 20 years at the time, and it was the first time that the Chargers shut them out since like 1961 on that one. So it's like, Yeah, I don't think we threw enough salt on that wound on them, you know. So it's like, you know what? So
in the whole thing for me, I always kind of look at it like this, man. You could win a game by 1 point, you could lose a game by 40. In the end, it's a win by 1 point or a loss by 40. It's still a loss. It's still the same old thing. Move on. Like
win by
the Raiders
1
tend to like to be. The Raiders tend to like to be a team that wants to try to shove it in your face a little bit for some reason, and they want to try to find a glimpse of hope of some sort, and that's pretty much what they want to do. So they're splitting hairs to try to find some positivity and be a Raider fan. So
yeah. I mean, they got to find some kind of enjoyment some way, because you know, like, they haven't been good for 40 plus years or something like that. You know, I mean, hey, let's call the kettle black. You know, the Chargers have not been winning championships for 60 something years, so it's like, okay, it's all good, you know.
But I'll say we both have been to Super Bowls in the last 40 years, give or take.
Oh yeah.
We both didn't win one, so like we both have been in Super Bowls. Like, so hey, chill out, guys.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
I mean, we got more playoff wins than them in the last 20 something years. So
that's right. Yeah, and I think there's keep seeing this demographic or infographic that, you know, in the last 20 years, the Raiders have not won the division once. So yeah.
That's a long time, guys. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Long time for them. So
yep.
But either way, we could talk about the Raiders all day. Let's just get into a couple slides here real quick.
Let's do it. Yeah. Like enough talk about them.
Enough talk about those guys. We give them way too much time on our podcast.
Yeah. We already did. Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys saw this video here about Justin Herbert with the pump fake, dude. And you know, it's funny. Last year, I kept saying Justin Herbert needs to learn to pump fake. Just give that small little like hesitation for a defender.
That's right.
Helps out with the receiver. The receiver is going to be able to run the route. Sometimes the defender will slow down just a tad bit. It allows windows to be open. If you watch this video, if you look on the left side, that's Justin Herbert with the pump fake. And then, you know, Morgan Fox is right there in the middle. Morgan Fox is turned around right here in the second screen because he thought he was going to throw the ball, and then he did not throw the ball. And then he ended up throwing a nice pass to the sideline. And that's what a pump fake does. And I think that's the one thing about Justin Herbert that is missed in his game for a very long time, to be able to just kind of give that little hesitation to defenders and make them think. I think he's more of a guy like, hey, I see, I'm just going to throw the dang ball. There's multiple times when I feel like when he's on the run, he should do a quick pump fake. Just do a quick pump fake. Just watch what Patrick Mahomes does. He always on the run will always throw a pump fake just to try to make defenders stop just for that brief second to give that guy a little extra cushion to run the ball. And I really hope that this is truly going to be something that he's going to add to his game this year.
Right, 100%.
It's awesome.
I mean, it's going to be good to see for sure. Like, but obviously now that we've seen this video, like the rest of the league's seen the video too. So it's like, okay, so now they're going to have to kind of think a little bit about his pump fakes and stuff. So it's like, okay.
Yep.
I mean, I like to see him do that. I don't think he didn't really do much pump fakes in college either, though. You know, like, yeah.
It's one of those things that I don't think I've really seen him do a whole heck of a lot. Period. Like, once again, the great quarterbacks out there, when they use their legs or, you know, have the ability to be able to give a pump fake, just to be able to give that wide receiver maybe just a tad bit more space to be able to throw a nice pass to him.
Yeah.
It helps a lot to the game. So it really makes people flinch just a tad bit. So I like it. And I really hope that this is going to be something added to this team. I don't know if it's Trestman that's really having him do that. Maybe if it's Shane Day that's having him do that. I mean, or, you know, is it G-Row, you know, Greg Roman? Is he the one kind of implementing that in there? I don't know, but I love to see it. I love to see that. So it was great. Check the video out too on the Chargers page too. So
for sure. Oh, just real quick, Eddie asked me about the Wednesday night football games. So on Wednesday night, I ended up going to a Galaxy game against the New York City Football Club. And there was an impromptu Thunder Alley group there. Like, you know, the Charger Dolls were there. We Charge LA was there. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go to that thing. And, you know, hung out with my buddy there. So we had a little good time. just watching a football game. I guess the European football soccer game. We'll just call it soccer game.
Soccer,
yeah, and
European soccer or football.
European football, European football. But there is a European football league, which is actually like I don't know. It's really confusing. The MLS, we'll call it the MLS game. Yeah. Yep. And so like, I went to that on Wednesday, but then Thursday, I was thinking that I was gonna be able to do it on Thursday, but I just had like a really late night at work, and so I was like, shoot. So I didn't post about it, whatever, but I was like slammed all day on Thursday. So it put a little piss poor planning on my part, but I'll make it up to you guys. I'll do it tomorrow. We'll do the Madden stream tomorrow, and we'll have a good time for sure.
Let's go. Yeah, just getting ready for football on Sunday, man. I mean, we're not far away. Right. Here you go. Here's a new headquarters, new training facility. So long, Costa Mesa. Here we come, El Segundo. The Bolt is here, and it's awesome. I mean, we actually are less than a month away from the players reporting for camp, guys. I mean, the
rookies will be recording on 7/13. That's right.
No, they are reporting on July 16th. July 16th.
Oh, the 16th. Okay, 16th. Yep. Okay.
And the veterans will be reporting on July 23rd. So we are.
And then I think that week
the vets and the whole team to be there. So that's awesome.
And I think that week of the 23rd is when camp should start for open forum, right?
It should.
Or is it the week after? I don't know.
It should. I mean, I've seen a lot of people already kind of putting out parties and such too. A lot of like the diehard Bolt clubs and all these different guys are starting to put, parties out, meetups and all those things. And I think it's that weekend that they're talking about doing that. So
Right.
So maybe it's the 27th-ish. That's going to be the first open camp, or the 26th-ish of July.
Mm-hmm.
It has not been officially scheduled for when the open training camps are going on there, but can't wait to be there, guys. Can't wait to be there. Yep. Check out the facility, see what it's all about, and man, bolt up. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. So so Bolt Pride Worldwide, they'll be having a party after training camp at Sauced Barbecue over there in Inglewood.
I think it's immediately after. I think it's like right around the corner from there. I think Sauced is actually right over near the Top Golf.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, for sure. Inglewood, El Segundo. I don't know, man. There's too many dang boroughs in LA. So, and then Die Hard Bolt Club, they're doing one as well at Rock and Brews the same day. So you basically have two different parties to go to if you really want to hang with us, So then the following week, the week after that, the Charger Bolt family is having a meet and greet with some of the players.
Yep.
So they're gonna have Bradley Bozeman there. They're gonna have Brenden Rice. They're gonna have, they're gonna have so many. Ladd McConkey, I believe, he's gonna be there. Man, it's gonna be wild. Like I don't have like the information pulled up just right in front of me, but I'll get that information in and get that more there. So, but it's a meet and greet. But there's those you do need to pay for tickets, and what we'll include with the tickets as usual is you'll be able to get like jerseys. Or you'll get signed jerseys, you'll get a signed autographed of whatever item that you want there. There will be food, obviously. It'll be kind of catered. And that one's also at Sauced Barbecue Place. So
it's killer.
Yeah, it's good. It's a killer deal. We were able to go to it last time, obviously, like earlier this year, and it was amazing. Yeah, that was a 4-hour stream for us. Our butts were sore. Sheesh. We had some technical issues there, but we kind of worked. We got to work those things out, but we'll make it work.
Yeah. No, it was killer, man. It was a great time. And these fan events are awesome. And especially even the one that's coming up during training camp, it's only another layer to be able to get excited about the season, guys. And it's awesome to just be amongst fans, to check out players, kind of meet and greet players. I mean, it's such a great event to be able to do that. And I mean, we appreciate the Charger Bolt family getting us involved with that last event. I mean, it was amazing time for sure.
Yeah, it was good times.
So many Harbaugh jerseys. It was crazy. A lot of Harbaugh jerseys.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
It was great. So once again, the training camp dates should be getting announced here pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that. It should be free to be able to attend the Bolt and check out the facility. And it's going to be a great time, man. I'm looking forward to it. So now we got this guy here. This week we had the mic'd up with Jim Harbaugh. Man, the hype is real around this guy. I mean, I actually had a dream last night that we did an interview with Jim Harbaugh, and I was amped after that. Like, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had in my life. And it was just, the guy's a straight motivator, even in my dreams. And it was amazing. It was an amazing interview that I had in my dream. But the whole thing that I love about that whole video of the mic'd up is how he is so true to who he is as a coach. He is a guy that has the same type of things. Hey, when you come here, I want you to get tired. I want you to sweat. I want you to just be at home and head to pillow, you're asleep immediately. I want you to be able to just put in all your effort. And the guy gets very involved with the players. He wants to be able to know the players. He wants to be able to talk to them, to engage them while they're doing routes and all these different things. I love it, guys. I mean, it is awesome to watch this guy as a coach. And still to this day, it's one of those things that it's still, I have to pinch myself to say we got Jim Harbaugh. We got a legitimate adult coach that knows what the heck he's doing. And the sky's the limit, guys. The sky's the limit. I'm going to say the atmosphere is the limit based upon what Greg Roman said about Herbert. So we got a lot in front of us, guys, and this is a great new era that we're moving into right now.
Yeah. No, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be real good. And that, in fact, so this actually leads right into a question that Athir Kadir has got for you.
Here it is.
My brother, my baby.
My baby. We need the my baby over here. What's the
here we go.
Here?
There you go.
All right, here we go. Herbert and Coach Harbaugh are not playing. My bold prediction is Chargers will take their record unbeaten to Cleveland, set new franchise record and wins, and finish 15-2. Let's go. Look, 15-2. You will be number one seed. You will have home field advantage. You will have a week 1 bye week into the playoffs. That if a 15-2 record happens, dude, watch out. That is a watch out year right now. Like we have a phenomenal chance to get to the Super Bowl if that happens. That would be incredible. I would be so down for that. Kyle, what's your thoughts on that 15-2 record? Let's make it happen.
I mean, I would love a 15-2 record. Especially because we're doing a little bit of I think we're cleaned house a lot. I think it's everything's possible. Let's just say that. But 15-2 to me is definitely a stretch.
Yeah,
there's quite a bit of things that we need to do in order to get there. And I just don't know if Harbaugh is going to be able to get us that much. That's a lot. I mean, it's a long season. There's a lot of different factors in this thing. It's just like I would love to be that hopeful that we get that 15-2, but I can see closer to obviously 12-5 for anything. Like that's kind of like the number that's kind of stuck in my head. Maybe 11-6 at something like that, in between there. But man, I just don't know, man. Like I can't see a 15-2 happen, but personally. So
Miguel even says he's like 15-2 is a stretch. Let's do just 14-3. And that would pretty much probably get us like a first probably we'd probably be the number one seed at that point with a 14-3 situation. I mean, it's who knows, stratosphere is the limit right now, right, guys? Like,
right.
We're going in such an era as a Charger fan that we just don't know what to expect. Now we know what this guy brings. He's the highest winning percentage coach in the NFL in his 4 years that he was here in the NFL. I mean, that's a beautiful stat. That's why we pay the guy the big bucks. He's a guy that's going to bring a lot of leadership. One thing that's beautiful about him and what you see is that he is a motivator for all these players. It's he wants to get better, like where he's out there getting a workout on the sled and pushing some plates, basically. He said 3 plates, I believe. He's out there doing his thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there super early in the morning out there just working out in the gym or whatnot before all the players get there. But he's a guy that wants to get better for his players, and the players want to get better for him. And that's the sign of a true leader, guys. And so, once again, the stratosphere is the limit with this team, guys. It is absolutely the limit with this team. And so, we're once again going into such an unknown era with Chargers, but just kind of give a glimpse a little bit of like the Marty Schottenheimer years, because I think that's literally what we're about to go into. But I think we're going to be at a whole nother level with this team. So I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm excited. One of the other screenshots that I thought was great too is this one where, Jim Harbaugh is chatting with Asante Samuel Jr. and Zont, and him are chatting about how, hey, this is where you go and get better. This is how you go get better. You put all your work on the field and everything. You go home, you just head to pillow, you're asleep kind of thing. And Zont's like, yep, it's all about game day. And he's like, and then Jim Harbaugh's like, yeah, it is all about game day. But this matters kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because, really, it breaks down to this. Like, Jim Harbaugh looks to come every single day to be able to be 1% better, essentially. He wants to be that guy to be able to make these players that much ready for game day. That's what this whole thing is. Working on the details, like he's emphasizing. He wants to make sure there's details constantly looked at, which I was thinking a lot about the whole idea of what Jim Harbaugh does about details. Think about the times of where we've screwed up games through small, stupid mental mistakes at the wrong time of the game where we can't make a tackle. Team doesn't come to help them out, try to make a tackle, missed tackles, stupid penalties at the wrong time. Those are the details that matter. And I think that's one thing that we're going to see a lot more this year. A lot of those stupid mental mistakes. And that's what he's trying to do, is get these players ready mentally, physically, and just be 100% hungry dogs on field getting after it. So I love it, man.
I think, there's always a phrase that comes to mind when it comes to like Harbaugh or like any kind of practice or whatever like that, I've heard this long time ago, like from a lot of athletes, whatever, because like they were talking about, some little meetings that I've had before, like, and they say the phrase goes, as it says, practice makes perfect, but that's not the complete thing. It's perfect practice makes perfect. Like you can't just practicing, it's not gonna matter, whatever. But if you're doing it the right way every single time, that matters, because like it becomes muscle memory that that you're not going to make those little minor mistakes. And that's one thing that Jim Joey Bosa said recently, is that that Harbaugh is focused on the minutia, where their feet are, where their hands are, where their shoulders are, and stuff like that. In all these different areas of their play style that they want to get perfect. And because of that, there's not going to be a mental mistake in the, at the fourth quarter of the game and stuff like that. They're always going to be locked on, and they're going to have it ready to go at all times. From 0 to 60. That's what they're doing. That's
right, man. And the one thing too, just to emphasize a little bit more on the details of things, even down to the point of every coach from Jim Harbaugh all the way down, they're all united in the same thought. And, some of the players have chatted a little bit about that. And that's a big detail, in my opinion, because you kind of think about what's the past coaching staff like? Was it with the past coaching staff? Was it not a united thought process from top to bottom? Was there some coaches kind of going against some coaches? Was it kind of like a feud between each other kind of thing? Was the messaging just off? And I really, truly feel it was off. Going back to Joey Bosa, and why he basically took another pay cut is because the guy wants to win, bottom line. And he knows what he got with this guy, with Jim Harbaugh. A true motivator, true leader, a guy that will lead you to win, and a guy that you want to play for, bottom line. Guy that's got plenty of respect. So I'm excited about it, man. But if you guys haven't watched that mic'd up with Jim Harbaugh, man, you're blowing it, bro. You're blowing it. You got to see that, man. You got to see it. Like I said, I was bolted up to my seat, dude. Just like what Miguel was saying. I had an interview with Jim Harbaugh in my dreams, and it was phenomenal, man. It was phenomenal. And once again, Miguel, perfect equals Super Bowl win. And that's what it really takes. That's really what it takes. Practice makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfection,
Perfect practice equals Super Bowl winning, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and great comment down here, and it's kind of a good segue to what we're going to here for the next slide. Team depth looks improved, and we talk about the players lost. A lot of them weren't even regulars, even their reoccurring injuries. No doubt, man. Like, the whole thing is, once again, thanks for the comment there. Was it Segnur V Moy 42, I think is how you say it. I don't know. And that's the thing, like,
probably trying to say Senor Vive Moy.
Senor V Moy 42. Okay, let's go.
I think so.
So the one thing that's great is we've done a good job of creating depth for this team. We've done a good job of really getting layers to this team, not just kind of making sure, like, hey, look, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are going to be our guys, and they're going to be healthy for the rest of this, season. We all know that doesn't work that way, guys. And we've done a very good job, and I think Joe Ortiz has done a phenomenal job of making sure we get a lot of guys in a lot of good positions that can really be good depth for this team. But I will say that there's a few guys out there that I'd probably say could be some good depth pieces. Now, I'm just going to show you a quick slide here, and I thought it was interesting. Once again, Jim Harbaugh is going to bring a winning culture to this team. And once again, we're going in a new era of what this team's going to be. And I thought this was an interesting slide as an NFL, MLB, and NBA equivalent based on winning percentage over the last 10 years. Chargers are at 20 with the Rangers, Suns, and the Chargers. Now, you start kind of looking at the other teams up here. You got Dodgers, you got Golden State Warriors, Kansas City Chiefs has won. Boston Celtics just won a championship. Houston Astros, same thing. Crazy to see that the Patriots are still there, but in the last 10 years, they've won some, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing I'm just going to say and emphasize on this is that, hey, look, we might be 20th in winning percentage in comparison to other type of sports, NBA, MLB. But guess what? The Rangers did win a World Series, right? So we are in that zone right now, guys, to win a championship.
We in the zone.
We in the zone. Auto zone.
Sorry, my brain goes like all that to quote too many things.
That's pretty easy. I mean, when I hear zone, I think auto zone. But I think this is kind of a cool little like chart to look at. Now, I think it's a little strange to see it 6 with the Rays being on there, which is crazy to think about that. The Ravens being on there makes sense, but even the Angels being at 17, which is kind of crazy to me because I feel like the Angels are almost losing dang near every year, it seems like. But either which way, I guarantee, in my opinion, we have a 5-year agreement with Harbaugh. I think it's going to end up being a 10-year. I think he's going to be a Charger coach throughout his entire career, the rest of his career. We're going to see a big flip in 10 years, essentially, with this team and winning percentages. So I'm very, very confident. 10 years from now, watch this whole chart flip a little bit for us. We'll be a top 5 type team, in my opinion. Yeah. So I can't wait.
Yeah. That's going to be good. Yeah. I mean, Harbaugh has a 70% winning chance. He's over 700 on winning in the NFL. Crazy. From the time that he was with the Niners and stuff. So that's freaking nuts. So I think that's that's going to be great. But he's got 5 years with us at least, right? Yep. And hopefully we extend him to get 5 more at least. Oh gosh, fingers crossed on that, man. Like, I mean,
just give us 10 years of just awesome football.
Like 10 years of awesome football, please. I want to see at least 3 championships out of this time. Like at least 3, maybe 10. I want 10 out of
give me 10 championships. We would be the most winning NFL franchise of all time. And that was done in 10 years. Suck it, Kansas City Chiefs, and all your run that you've had in the last 5-6 years. That would be ridiculous. So either way, I think it's kind of a cool chart, but just think of what Jim Harbaugh is going to bring to this team. 10 years from now, this could be a big, big difference that will be in some of those elite category type teams too. So I'm very, very confident we'll get to that point. So, and I do really think this year is going to be a flip of what last year's record was from 5 to 12 to 12 to 5. And I'm pretty sure we'll get to that point. So
exactly.
Pretty cool. But going to the next slide here, guys, our guy, Ladd McConkey. I think he intentionally decided to be the last guy to sign at the Costa Mesa facility, essentially. I think he's like, I wanted to be the last dude and get the biggest contract of a second-round pick. With it was a $9.9 million. It's only like $1.7 million towards the cap for us this year. The guy signed a pretty fat deal. And you know what you're hearing from Justin Herbert. Once again, I've said a lot of things, and I think Ladd McConkey could be this year's Puka Nacua. Like, I think he's got a quarterback, he's got a coach, he's got an O-line, and he has the ability to run great routes with speed. And I think this guy could be one of those guys that could be an absolute dog this year.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute dog.
And Justin Herbert has said he's really looking forward to throwing to him during the games and stuff. Yeah. So
he's going to be great. I mean, once again, we always call him just the white Keenan Allen, essentially with speed. I mean, that's essentially what he is.
I don't know about that. I mean, I can't see him being the white Keenan Allen. I can see him just being the reincarnation of Wes Welker, you know, maybe Julian Edelman, you know. Like I see him more as that kind of player personally, but I don't know. I mean, he could be this next Slayer for sure. You know, I never know.
Hey, you know, it's all about running routes. If you can run routes and you can catch the ball, you're solid, and that's essentially what Keenan Allen was. The big thing about Keenan Allen, if you look at the stats, he wasn't a guy that you could be like, hey, I could give him the ball and he's going to give me a touchdown. You know, 30 yards down the field, 40 yards down the field. He wasn't that guy, and I feel like Ladd is kind of that elevated version of who he is, or at least Keenan Allen was. Right. So best for last, Miguel. It seems like it could be, and let's hope it's going to be some good omen for us, because Andrew Ladd McConkey is going to be that dog for us. I can't wait to watch him. But Herbert basically is even saying he looks like a 4 or 5 year type vet out there running routes. So that's a beautiful thing. When a quarterback like Justin Herbert notices that, you know he's going to throw the ball to him and feel comfortable throwing the ball to him. So I can't wait. Can't wait. But what is it? Miguel even brought up something about here. Did Puka get this type of attention before started playing, or only after he played for the Rams? Ladd is getting high praises without playing in the NFL. Puka kind of just showed up. Cooper Kupp went down, and Puka basically stepped in and pretty much took Cooper's spot and balled out. I mean, the guy was a BYU player. A lot of injuries that he had in college is why he ended up getting, I think it was 6th round pick, possibly. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
It was 5th or 4th. Yeah, exactly.
It was like back end.
It
was back into the draft, and you know what? Look, he just found an opportunity and he made it happen. And guess what? He got to Pro Bowl first year as a rookie, and I feel like Ladd McConkey is going to be one of those guys that's going to well over 100 plus targets. I'm sure he'll probably end up getting around. I feel it's going to be 75, maybe 80 catches. He's going to have a very solid year this year. Once again, Keenan Allen leaving is kind of a big security blanket for Justin Herbert. It's about finding a guy that could do that same kind of fit. And you know what? Running routes is absolutely key to be able to do that. So I think there was one other comment that just popped in. I don't know where it ended up going, but it was talking about running routes. Oh, you already got it right there. Hey, it's on the screen.
Hey, I'm already ahead of you, bro. Like
you're right there. Right there. Yeah. Bros are connected here, dude. Same thoughts. But route running, a game recognition is one that can even translate better than what Neighbors showed on tape. Yeah, agreed. And you know, it's kind of fun to watch Neighbors actually and seeing some of his highlights. And some people are like trying to say, oh, maybe the Chargers are going to, you know, feel bad about not picking Neighbors and going with all. Well, dude, look at this, man. Who's throwing to Neighbors, by the way? You know, Daniel Dimes. Like, Daniel Dimes ain't going to be the best quarterback, by the way. And I don't think they have a very good O-line. I don't even know who their running back is over there now. Like, he doesn't have a very complete team at all, in my opinion. And Joe Alt will be a guy that's going to be a catalyst for the O-line for years, possibly decades.
Hope so. Him and Slater on the bookends, you know, that'd be dope.
I mean, it's pretty insane what this O-line is going to be. Bottom line, we got a great quarterback, top 5 quarterback, in my opinion, who easily could be a top 3 this year. So, but
exactly.
Wanted to just say here, this is just a quick screenshot here of our cap space still available. Guys, once again, I know we had to move on from some players. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, we had to let them walk. We had basically salary negotiations with Bosa and Mack. But guess what we got? We got $20.3 million right now in the NFL to spend. We're still 15th in the NFL. Sucks looking at this dead cap space of $53 million, but that's going to be gone for the most part next year. This was just a tough year to basically kind of manage through that dead cap. But $20.3 million. You have space to make moves still. And so, look, Joe Ortiz is a guy that's not going to sleep. If he's going to see a guy that might be a fit, he's going to go for it. Now, I don't think there's a ton of holes left on this team, but we got money to play with. And you got to love going into the season, even at $20 million. Let's say we don't even get anybody else up to this point. We go into the season with $20.3 million. You have money to make moves mid-season, which is, I don't even know the last time we've done like a mid-season acquisition.
Ever since we've had Coupon Tom, we've done nothing in the middle of the season.
Nothing.
Not a dang thing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I guess we did pick up Simi Fehoko last year.
But I mean, that's like a minor acquisition. Yeah, that's not like, hey, you're going to get a Odell Beckham Jr. when he's available and he was like at a top tier type receiver kind of thing. Like
exactly.
We've never done that. Like it just seems like we never do that. We always go for the bottom of the barrel. You're going to those Amazon stores with all the returns, digging at the bottom, trying to find them gems. You're
going to the outlet store and you're going to the clearance rack right away. It's like bro,
come on now. Actually, that's generally how I shop. Where's a clearance rack?
I do it too. That's I beeline to the clearance rack, as well. But
I don't want to pay full price. Oh, hey, give me that cheap stuff, dude. Come on.
I understand. It's like but we're not a multi-billion-dollar company.
Exactly.
So it's like it's like hey, straight up.
Crazy, but I'll say this though. You got to know, and once again, I already kind of emphasized it, you got to love going into the season with money. I feel like with Tom Telesco, it was always like $10 million, $9 million. And you're kind of like, if you have somebody that goes down, you don't got a lot of money to try to get a guy who could really elevate your team at that point. That's when all these bottom of the barrel, cheap kind of vet signing type things, or elevate a guy from practice squad, hoping he's going to be the next best thing. I don't know. I mean, I like to be able to see that we could actually go out there and get more players. And I love to see that. So, Now, we got a lot of different ideas of some players. Now, once again, I do feel the depth on this team is pretty solid right now. So this is kind of more luxury additions, more or less. You start thinking about having a guy that might be able to help out a little bit on the D-line. One guy that came to mind, too, is this guy, Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox was a guy that I've always thought was a pretty dope guy to be able to have. Big guy, big defensive tackle. And he's a little bit up there in age. He's 33. He'll be 34 in December. But you possibly could get this guy for a little bit of cheaper price, but add some more meat to that middle of that line. Now, once again, I do very, very much feel confident in Tito Ogbonnia. I feel very confident with Puna. I feel very confident with Morgan Fox. Scott Matlock's getting a lot of love right now, too, from Jim Harbaugh. The middle of our D-line is really good and stout, but I wouldn't mind having a guy like this for, first down type situation or short yardage type of situations. This is a guy that's a big dude that could just find a way to be able to stop him. Now, Carlos is saying that Fletcher Cox retired. I know he's still kind of out there. Now, once again, Tony Jefferson was retired, right? And he decided to come back, too.
That's right. So, but he's got some love, San Diego love and stuff like that, So it's like, and he was living in San Diego, so he pulled out, So that's probably why. But Fletcher Cox could be a stretch if he is retired, and maybe he does want to enjoy his time off, or whatever. But hey, what's his name? Dude out of Utah got off the couch for the playoffs and won a Super Bowl. That we got. Eric Weddle. So so it's very possible he's after this. He could come off the couch, and if we say, "Hey, we need you. We're in the playoffs," he's like, "All right, So
that's exactly it. And that's where a guy that might be sitting there saying, "Hey, I might have actually a really good situation with the Chargers. I might be able to just say, hey, I took off 17 weeks of football, but I've been keeping in shape." Right. Hey, I can get thrown into a game and go right into the playoffs, possibly win a Super Bowl, and then, call it really an end, Yeah. So, hey, I'm okay with it. Now, I'm not saying he's going to say, if he's going to get picked up, decided to unretire, because I think every football player still has that itch. I mean, you think about like Terrell Owens, even at like 50 something years old, he's still saying I can go out there and go play football. And like, they never find that competitive edge or lose that competitive edge or that desire or want to go out there and play. So, hey, I'm just saying this could be a mid-season, late season type acquisition that you could just get them out here and say, hey, man, you want to play for us? Let's go. You want a chance at a championship? Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And yes, Larry, we are talking about playoffs. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we definitely. Hey, you know, we always thinking about playoffs. You know, like we don't even care. Baby. You know, it's like, hey, like if you ain't thinking about the Super Bowl and playoffs at this point, and every team, every fan should be thinking about that for our team. And if you're not, it's, you know, like I mean, I get, you know, that we were all a little bit delulu when it came to Brandon Staley last year, thinking that we were gonna go, he was gonna win Coach of the Year, thinking he was gonna win, you know, go all the way. He was gonna be like 10-5 or whatever like that, you know, like shoot. We were all delulu on that stuff, you know. But I mean, this year we're gonna spit on that thing.
Yeah, and Miguel, speaking into existence. That's right. You best believe that Jim Harbaugh's talking about it. That's
right.
He's talking about it, man. You know he's out there saying, hey, look, we could be the best team in the NFL. Bottom line. Yep. Guaranteed.
Exactly.
So, once again, one guy right here, too, Kareem Hunt. That was one of those guys that I think we even chatted about last year, too, about trying to pick him up. And, look, do we need a running back right now? Well, you got, obviously, Gus Edwards. You got J.K. Dobbins. Kamani Vidal, you got Elijah Dotson's been getting a little bit of love in the camp too, and then Isaiah Spiller. Now, my whole thing about this is like I'm looking at running backs because I'm kind of more looking at it as like a contingency-based plan. Like if J.K. Dobbins isn't truly healthy, does he get injured? Now, the track record is that he has had a hard time staying healthy, but Kareem Hunt is a dog in the trenches, just like what Robert's saying there, too. Great in running between tackles. He had 9 touchdowns last year on like 160-something carries. The guy will be a perfect fit for just a physicality, middle tackle type guy. Kind of a little bit of a Gus Edwards, too. But we want to be physical, right? We want to go between the tackles. We want to punch players in the face. We want a guy that could go out there and just make it happen. Let's go.
Just like what's his name? The freaking Pat McAfee show is saying like that Harbaugh's like this.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Yeah, that's his whole mantra, man. He wants to just basically go out there and punch people in the face, and I love it.
In fact,
I think it would be a cool pickup.
So much so that he like when he was actual quarterback, he actually punched a news anchor or whatever in the face and broke his hand and lost 3 games while he was playing football, So.
Jim Harbaugh, man. Jim Harbaugh,
that guy, dude, he's freaking all gas, no brakes. He was like,
that's right, baby.
He's the epitome of talk shit, get hit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Exactly, man. You gotta love it, man. I mean, the guy's a competitor, straight up, and that's one thing you love about Jim Harbaugh, and that's why a lot of these players basically give him tons of respect for who he is and what he's all about. So, next player here, Dalvin Cook. This one was lost. I don't understand how Dalvin Cook goes from top tier type running back from Vikings, it goes to the Jets and just gets disappears on the depth chart for some reason. This guy is still 28 years old too, by the way, and he is a solid running back, a guy that could be an absolute home run hitter. Florida State guy, once again, too, that you think you got a couple guys, Asante Samuel Jr., Florida State guy. You got Derwin James, Florida State guys. They're connected somewhere or another. But Dalvin Cook is one of those guys that I've always kind of thought about, like, hey, maybe that could be a guy that you could just kind of add maybe another extra bottle of lightning with this guy, too. So that's one of those positions I've kind of been like, do we add more to the running back position? Who knows? But this could be another guy you could look at. He's free agent right now, too, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. But I don't know, man. Like we have I think like Dalvin Cook and Kareem Hunt would probably be both better off like mid-season pickups. Like if something happens that we need to pick up somebody because someone gets hurt, they go down, whatever. Maybe they're not producing or whatever. That we would have to get someone like him, these two guys, the mid-season, before the trade deadline, because that would make a lot of sense for me. Because I mean, obviously, let's be honest too. Like the running back game is it's a young man's game.
Agreed.
Both J.K. and Gus they're like 5 and 4 year veterans, so like they're in a good ripe age for high level football and stuff like that. Like, and of course, being 28 years old for Dalvin Cook, that is on the lower end. Because I mean, he's ran through a lot of people and stuff like that, So like, I mean, there would be some kind of like, soreness probably there. So, but picking him up, someone like these guys, mid-season, later in the season, that'd be absolutely perfect.
Yep. No, I agree, and that's what the whole idea is. Where the actual roster is at right now is pretty set, in my opinion. Like, there's not too much that you can work with, but these are those value picks for possibly something goes wrong. And that's why we got that $20-something million that we could go out there and sign another guy that might be a great fit all around. And once again, Larry, nobody's sleeping on Elijah Dotson. I think that he could be a very, very good fit. And I liked him last year. I think that was a very good pickup for us last year. It's just kind of a hard thing of like Isaiah Spiller, where's he going to be at? Does he even fit the system? Kamani Vidal had a lot of snaps in camp too. I mean, you hypothetically think he's the third running back at that point. But I do want to say, once again, I've compared this team to, say, the Niners on the running game aspect of things. If our O-line works the way we anticipate it to work, to basically be that high physical-based team and knows how to be able to open up holes for running backs, anybody in behind that line could actually thrive, guaranteed. And that's what the Niners always have. I mean, how many times have you played fantasy football where – XYZ running back gets injured with, the Niners, all of a sudden some random dude just off the practice squad goes out there and balls. And next thing he's the next biggest pickup in fantasy football because they have a system intact. They have an O-line that knows what the heck they're doing. And so you could essentially almost put anybody back there. So my thing is I feel like we need to have like 4 very, very solid running backs, which I think we do have right now. But, we got to make sure we get a guy that might have a little bit more vet experience, like a Dalvin Cook or a Kareem Hunt kind of thing. So,
yeah.
So who knows? But this is another one that I've kind of looked at for a while here is Xavier Howard. He's been a guy for a while, all-pro guy, multiple Pro Bowls. Guy got a big contract with the Dolphins. He's at 30 years old, kind of later in his career, but at the same side, you still got like a 1-year type situation with this guy. And if Xavier Howard wants to go out here and have a great chance to potentially add more vet experience to the corners situation. Now, I'm not saying anything against Asante Samuel Jr. or Kendall, our other cornerback, right? My brain's not working right now, but either which way, we do have some guys that are going to be good starter corners, but I do feel like there's kind of like just to push that defense just a tad bit more is if you just ratchet up that cornerback room and get more veteran experience. And Xavier Howard would be another guy out there that I think wouldn't be a bad idea at all. So once again, I don't know what he's going to want to cost, and because he got a lot of big money with past contracts, who knows? But that's where we're at. These are just a couple guys I've looked at. Who knows? I know a lot of people are talking about Justin Simmons. Not really probably a fit at this point because we got Tony Jefferson, like Eddie's saying. Fulton, exactly. There you go. Fulton was his name.
Yeah, Fulton.
Which he sounds like he's doing really good in camp right now too. So which is awesome to see. But once again, going back to that, Fulton's had a little bit of injury issues. So you want to be able to make sure you get a guy who's going to be a stable guy for you. Or is it going to be Cam Hart? Or is it going to end up being is Jasir Taylor going to get pushed to the edge or outside corner? Is it going to be, who's the next guy at that point? I want to have a lot of depth to be able to make sure we don't have issues where we just have to put in some random guy that's not going to be, ready to go. I mean, you best believe Jim Harbaugh is going to make sure everybody's ready, but you want to be able to go out there and get some guys. Yeah, Carlos, Stephon Gilmore, phenomenal. And that guy's been playing, seems like 40 years now, it seems like. That guy's been in the league forever, and he's still extremely effective as a cornerback. So But maybe Xavier Howard might have a little bit of last 2 years have been a little bit of down years for him, and you hope that's not like a sign of whatnot. But I do think it's a sign that he did get paid. Maybe this is a motivator. Jim Harbaugh is going to get the best out of his players. So,
yeah, exactly. I think the biggest thing though too is who said it here? Where'd it go? Larry. Larry said this for sure. It's like, I'm not really worried about our offense at all. I'm more worried about our defensive line. And that's the biggest thing too. It's like, so Fletcher Cox could be like a good pickup. Like we're kind of going back on that a little bit.
Yep.
But who else is available out there right now? And I'm looking at a list right now. There's potentially Brian Moon, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name or whatever, but Hassan Ridgeway, there's older players, Lawrence Guy, Al Woods, David Bada, a couple obviously older players. Linval Joseph's still available, but we've kind of worked with him a little bit.
Probably 36 now or something like that. Yeah. So
we could even call back Nick Williams as well, but I don't know if we should, because when we had him, we weren't really doing super well on that defensive line. So, I think that. Because we do need some butt and gut in that freaking defensive line, though, man. We need someone that just consumes that thing straight up, like Jamal Williams did back in the past, So,
man, you have to go back to some of the guys that might be on the team that might find a way. Like, think about Gerard Clark, who was an offensive guy last year that might be a good fit for that position. He's a big dude. CJ Okoye, probably a stretch to be able to see if he could really be an impact guy for an inside guy. But Gerard Clark, once again, he is a big dude, 6'3", 334 pounds. That's a lot of meat in the middle there, baby. That's a lot of meat in the middle. And so adding a guy like that would be awesome. And make sure that he can step up.
You need a lot of meat for that brisket.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. But these are all just kind of thoughts right now, guys. And once again, we're in a slow week of the year. This is kind of that time where a lot of players are out and about doing their things, but you don't want to be able to. I know you guys already been jumping in there too. And by the way, dude, Aether brought this up, and I watched a lot of this guy's stats or highlights. Mason Graham from Michigan, bro. When I watched a lot of his highlights, the guy reminds me a lot of Morgan Fox. And that's where I feel like literally Jesse Minter's defense is going to utilize Morgan Fox the same exact way as Mason Graham. Mason Graham is a dog, high energy kind of guy. Like, I don't watch a lot of college football, but I like watching specific players on certain teams because I was really just watching Jesse Minter's defense and how he operates. Dude, Mason Graham could be an absolute dog, and he would be a great pickup for this next year as a drafted player. I would love to be able to see him on this team. He would. Yeah, me too. Once again, taking a guy from the same system and plug and play, good to go. So, I think I definitely Campbell is another one that people are chatting about. I think he's signed somewhere. I don't remember where he ended up signing. But go ahead, Kyle.
I was just going to say and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of out of Harbaugh, and with his players that he likes. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of Notre Dame players, and I think that's because Harbaugh probably watches them recreationally out of Notre Dame because he's Catholic himself. And so then we'll see a lot of Michigan players, of course. So definitely expect to see Mason Graham, hopefully on a high board for next year's draft or whatever. But
he's fun to watch.
Let's jump back into some of these questions. I know Miguel had one very early on. But we were talking about
Calais Campbell went to the Miami Dolphins, by the way.
Yeah, here you go. Miguel had this one. Speaking of the past, Merriman said that his team and our culture is different from other seasons. What are your thoughts?
Yo, Kyle, you got that one.
Yeah, man, I think for sure, dude. Merriman's been out there on the field. He sees a lot of stuff. He probably different from our other season. Hopefully he's talking about just like these last in the last 10 years, maybe Merriman saw some things about when Schottenheimer was there, maybe even in North Turner. Cause those were both veteran coaches, and we did have some great years with both of those coaches, let's be honest and stuff. But I hope that I'm stoked to see that though, for sure. Cause like we said, we finally got adults in the room. Like we had, we've had 3 first-time coaches in a row, and and I'm fine with giving coaches a shot or whatever like that, but don't suck. Just don't be sucking. You got the head coach job for a reason. Yep. And don't just use it as a learning experience for you, because that sucks a ton. So, and that's not what the Chargers needed to do. They needed to start fast and finish strong. And actually win some games out here in LA.
Yep.
Yeah, we lost a lot of ground. I don't know. It's the
same. And Miguel, the one thing, I sent a video to my bros about this, but it was a start of, I think, like a Monday Night Football game against the Steelers or whatnot. And I was a season ticket holder, and I'm pretty confident I was at that game. The one thing that I always loved about San Diego is they would do like flybys of like jets over the stadium. They would have guys with parachuting into the stadiums and stuff like that. Like even this specific game against the Steelers for Monday Night Football, it was like a sergeant there, and he basically is like, "All right, San Diego, are you ready?" It's like something to the effect of like, "Are you ready?" And the whole crowd's like, "Are you ready?" kind of thing. And like, it's all about like having this crowd being interactive with the environment of how the team feels. And you best believe like the players in the tunnel that are ready to go. Like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. Like where it's like the feeling of like having the crowd just ready to go, gladiators ready to clash. Like I feel like we need to have like that feeling of like, swag, you're in our town, we're gonna punch you in the face kind of thing. We're united as a crowd, and like that's one thing that I think we're lacking. I think we're just looking at like the Jumbotron or the Oculus or whatever the thing's called and thinking like, all right, well, that's the thing that's gonna hype us up. You need interaction with the crowd, and the crowd can't just be cheer, 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 cheer. Like we need to find a way to basically show you're here in our house. This is our house, and we're here to basically punish you for being here kind of thing.
Right.
And I think that's little things that I think we need to be able to bring back for this team, bottom line. So I hope that's going to be happening this year.
Yep. Yeah, I really hope so. And that's a big thing. I guess we can bring that up, because the senior vice president of the Chargers did just announce something very specific. And he said, look, this first game against the Raiders is huge. Like it's not even like a question, obviously. Like, we all need to show up to this game for sure. Yep. But he emphasized that Sean Merriman is actually going to be a major part of the game, like the game before the game. And he said, and he's demanding in a lot of ways demanding that, and I 100% believe this too. But he's saying like, look, people need to get on to their seats 15 minutes before the game, because there's going to be some kind of presentation. I don't know what it's going to be, and Sean Merriman's going to be a big part of that presentation. So if it's going to be anything like what James was just talking about, having the flyby over with the the helicopters and the Marines, hyping up the crowd and stuff like that, we need to be there, for sure. I don't care what needs to happen. Thunder Alley needs to close down 2 hours early or something like that, just to make sure that we can get to the stadium and stuff like that. In fact, I'll just say this though too, like before we say anything else though too. So me, I'm working with Thunder Alley right now to make it happen that we actually are going to be streaming live from Thunder Alley. Where there's a few things that we've kind of thought about that we can actually make it work, and like it can happen very, very easily, and we're going to do some test runs, I think, with it or whatever. So I think, James, we can actually make this work. We can definitely make this work. It's just the biggest hurdle is the strong internet connection.
Yeah,
if that's the big, and then obviously that's really the biggest problem that we have to kind of work out and figure out and stuff like that, but I think I have some solutions for it. So it's going to happen. So before the game, Thunder Alley, we're gonna do some little live show, whatever, live stream right there. And I'm even trying to talk to Sean Merriman about seeing if we can collab with him on the Lights Out TV for that thing.
That'd be killer.
It might be on that. It might be on that entirely, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Week 1 is going to be just electric. Guys, once again, week 1 is going to be electric. And I'm not saying that just because we're Chargers or anything like that, lightning bolts, but it's going to be such a great environment. Yes, we're going against the Raiders. Yes, they're going to sit there and say, "Oh, we beat you guys by 40-something points." Who cares, man? That was last year.
Yeah.
Did you get to the playoffs? No, who cares? Move on.
Yeah.
Quit looking at the past so much, man. But it's going to be an amazing time.
It's not even that's not even a gloat. We should just be thanking him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I don't care.
Now we got Jim Harbaugh. Thanks.
Yeah. Now we got Jim Harbaugh. It's like, I mean, you freed us of our pain.
Exactly.
Thank you, Kylo Ren.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Just kind of go along with the schedule and everything here. Eddie made a great point about Joe Alt week 1, Max Crosby week 2, Jadeveon Clowney week 3, TJ Watt, big test first 3 weeks, man. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch, man. It's going to be fun to see a big old Joe Alt that I mean, it's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be fun. So
So Athir had a question for you on this week 1 thing as well. Actually, here he was crying in the chat, my baby. Just like I said, make sure I didn't lose this question. Yeah.
Yep. So week 1 versus Raiders, it's different between 17-14 lead at half and then 21-10 lead at half. What do you expect from Minter's defense in the first half if our secondary is worried? So meaning as in if we are winning 17-14 lead at half and a 21-10 lead at half. So what would you think the difference between the defense and that point? Well, I'm going to say one thing too. 17-14, the game is not over. 21-10, the game still ain't over. You do what's working regardless. Until you basically go into a victory formation, pedal the metal, foot to throat, all gas, no brakes. Keep doing what you're doing and make it happen. I'm sorry. How many times have we had these stupid, hey, we look great at the halftime. Let's just give you an example. A stupid Jaguar game. You have to go out there and still step on their throats. I'm sorry. I don't expect Jesse Minter to slow down by any means. I mean, we're going to have probably one of the better D lines, in my opinion, at least edge set of players in the league.
Yeah.
4 very, very good players for the edge. You go out there and just keep making it happen. I would love to be able to see another 7-sack game or something from Khalil Mack. I would love to be able to see that. And I expect Jesse Minter's defense just to be able to put foot on throat, keep it going, pedal the metal, end it. Because the game ain't over, dude. As we've all know as the Chargers. We know how it is. We know how it is.
It ain't over until it's over,
Yeah.
So, and someone else in the chat, I think it was Eddie. He actually mentioned how he thinks Jesse Minter's defense is heavily relies on the middle linebacker position.
Yep.
And I can see that too. Look at them, and that's kind of why we got Junior Colson as well. To really help out that. But reality is, all defenses rely on the middle linebacker position. It's a kind of a slept on position in this league. It seems but if you have that really good middle linebacker, because in my personal opinion, I think the middle linebacker is the quarterback of the defense. They're in the perfect position of leading. You're telling the line what's going on, telling and signaling to the corners what's going on. And they're in the perfect position to lead the team, and that's what we need. You need a strong leader in that position. You also need someone that can fill those gaps, whatever maybe the cute quarterback and stuff like that. But I think that's kind of a slept on position. And so I think, it's going to be, man, gosh, I just can't, I would love to have to flip the script on them and drop 60 on them, right away, straight out of the gate.
How amazing would that be? How amazing would that be? Because the Raider fans in the stadium by halftime, they're already asleep because they drank too much beer. But, let's put them to sleep at halftime, baby. Let's put the baby to bed at halftime.
Put the baby to bed, go to sleep, baby.
We'll be handing out pillows to the Raider fans. Here you go, guys.
Exactly.
There's a Charger blanket for you. Enjoy. And that's the thing. The middle linebacker position is an interesting one because we also did have, Denzel Perryman, Colson and Dayon Henley being that, and Nick Neiman's another guy too for an inside linebacker kind of guy. There's kind of a side where I wouldn't mind trying to find another inside linebacker, but I think we're pretty good with that. But one thing they love to keep talking about is that these players are Swiss Army knives. Basically, what does that mean? They're guys that could basically dissect a play and know how to attack a play, find a hole that could get it to that running back and make a tackle for a loss. And they do a very good job of pursuit speed. And I really, honestly, am really, really hoping Deion Henley gets some good field time, because I think that guy can absolutely be a dog for this defense. And to be honest, man, like, I follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, man, I would love that dude to be my best friend, dude. He's like one of the coolest dudes. One of the coolest dudes.
I love that. In fact, wait. Oh, it wasn't Deion. It was it was Thule. He's putting on a pickleball tournament.
Pickleball tournament, dude. Let's go. Samoans love some pickleball, dude.
And isn't Fletcher Cox like the other guy that's sponsoring it with him or something?
It's one of his brothers. It's another Tupelotu. It's another Tupelotu. So it's one of his brothers. Yeah. And I think he's a defensive tackle, I think, for the Bucks, I think. Something like that.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
So it's just brothers basically putting together a pickleball tournament. So that's pretty cool.
Hey,
pretty cool.
But then that us brothers got to be there too, man. Yeah, we got to make that happen.
I wonder if those signups are already all done, man. It's funny because out here there was this Samoan crew that had a pickleball tournament, and it was like 100-something people that signed up, and I was like, "Yo, that's a lot of people. That's a long day of playing pickleball, dude. That's a long day." But that would be so sick. Yeah. There you go, Eagles. Marlon Tupelotu.
Oh yeah, Marlon. Yeah, because that's why I thought. That's why I thought it was Fletcher Cox, because I do remember it was Eagles outfit. Yeah. But I was like, I couldn't remember. So yeah. Oh, that's pretty dope though, man. I mean, you never know. If, killer for sure.
Larry got a good little point. It starts with the interior D line. Oh. Yep, absolutely. And that's the big thing. The pass rushers and the secondary be looking like an all-star. And that's the thing. Like, I always go back to Bobby Ross. You win and lose games at the line, and that's bottom line how it is. Everybody, if the front line is doing well, everybody behind the line is going to be great, kind of thing. Same thing, defensive line, offensive line, same kind of idea. So the lines win, you're going to win, and you're going to win a lot of games. And actually, I've already kind of been looking a little bit at like the rankings for the 2024 O-line rankings, and it's kind of a positive thing to look at, kind of where people are ranking. Now, rankings are one thing, on-field production is totally different, but where it's ranked, Chargers are ranked pretty well at this point, and I think they could only elevate, to be honest, than what their ranking is preseason.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, I just saw Vegas has updated our odds for winning the Super Bowl. It's now 40-1.
Wow.
So now we're definitely not favored to win, like even more. Like I think before it was 20-1, but then for whatever reason, Vegas no, they're not going to do anything this year. So, I'm like, screw you guys, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna put I still got to put my bet on the over, and
I'm gonna do it.
I'm like anticipating them to change it for some reason.
You know what? Hey, as soon as we get that $200 from Ether, we're gonna put that straight on that, man.
Boom.
Putting it straight on that. Yeah.
$200.
Right. We're gonna double it down.
We need that check, dude.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, Miguel had a comment here that I thought was kind of interesting. So he says, "What?
He's still in the chat. He's still in the chat."
Yeah, I don't know if he is. I don't know if he is. I don't see
my
him
money
anymore. We talk a lot about Bosa, Mack, and Keenan Allen. Not enough is being talked about Keenan or Mike Williams. Any thoughts on how he'll do with the Jets? It's 100% based upon if Aaron Rodgers could be Aaron Rodgers. If he is Aaron Rodgers, he's got a run game with Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. He's got a good set with Garrett Williams, Mike Williams, Xavier Gibson. Like, he's got a good core of wide receivers, and he's got a good O-line. Like, last year was great with them. I mean, and their defense was top tier without Aaron Rodgers. Now, it's really about if Aaron Rodgers could be Aaron Rodgers, because best believe if Aaron Rodgers goes back down, it's Tyrod Taylor. It's going to be a different story at that point. So,
well,
it'll be interesting to see.
Bottom line is, too, I mean, Mike Williams might not last long either, though. You know, I mean, if odds are, he'll probably get maybe like 4 games, and then he'll be out for the season again. You know, I mean, because he's playing on turf out there as well. You know, so it's like he's not really improving his situation by any means. Like, I could go look up at that website right there. Like, in the odds of him getting another injury, like, are probably 90% at this point. You know, like, I mean, his legs are like he might, man, his legs are so messed up. They have so many, like, you know, issues there. I mean, like, he needs to be eating shark cartilage for breakfast, like a shark cartilage cereal thing, you know, like that. You know, like, I don't know, man, to strengthen those, like, his meniscuses and tendons and all, whatever the heck he needs to do, man.
So
like,
good.
I don't know.
You know, I mean, a lot of it does. Like, I mean, I remember a lot of players would talk about doing like yoga and like all these stretching type things and everything too. And if you know, that helps out strengthening out muscles, tendons, and everything too. Just like what Ben Herbert's been talking about. I mean, when you got a guy that knows what the heck he's doing and making players bend, don't break kind of situation and strengthen some of those injuries.
Right.
I think that's going to be huge for a lot of players out there. Now, I don't know what the heck the Jets have as in strength and conditioning coaches, but, you know, polling the conversation about the Chargers, that's where you hope these J.K. Dobbins and this Christian Fulton is going to be able to work out well. I mean, these guys that might have, you know, injury issues of some sort, that this strength and conditioning coach is going to be a guy that's going to, you know, make sure all our players stay on field, bottom line. So just kind of looking through some of the other questions here, just seeing if there's anything else too. I know people talking a little bit about why nobody's talking about Brenden Rice. You know, Brenden Rice. You know, I mean, he in the mic'd up with Jim Harbaugh, he did talk about certain routes that he did like from him. I think the thing is, though, it's very, very hard to be able to work with the wide receiver core. Like, you know, Eddie pointed out, you know, Joshua Palmer, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, DJ Shark, Darius Davis, Brenden Rice, you know, Cornelius Johnson, who knows? Like, you know, it's just such a big wide receiver core right now. And Brenden Rice and Cornelius Johnson are the guys that are like the bubble players at this point. They got to be able to find a way to separate themselves. You would hope that Brenden Rice would be like that, a chip on shoulder type guy, and a guy that's basically going to be able to find his way on this squad. Darius Davis, you know, obviously a kick returner type guy for us. DJ Shark, we signed him for a reason to keep him here, right? QJ, you hope he elevates. Ladd McConkey will probably end up being a very, very good pickup. And Joshua Palmer is very underappreciated, in my opinion. It's crazy to see that some of these like, you know, stats that they're kind of throwing out there about our wide receiving core being one of the worst. And I get it. It's because you don't have that splash guy. But best believe Justin Herbert's going to make these guys all better.
Right. And that's why, like, the mainstream media is sleeping on the Chargers so much this year, because they're like, oh, we got rid of Keenan, we got rid of Mike Williams, we got rid of Austin Eckler, and all these like big established names for the Chargers. And so they think that our offense is gonna be whacked. But hey, that doesn't matter, baby. You know, like I feel like at least like 33% of having a winning franchise, maybe even more, is having a good quarterback. Number one. Amen. We got that. And, you know, another 33% of it is having the coach, maybe even more than 33%. You know, we got that, you know, the right coaching staff. And then the rest, you know, is, you know, everything else. Like a good quarterback can make a good wide receiver look better, you know? And like, I'll say this though too. Keenan Allen is not happy in Chicago. We've seen some things like that kind of float up. Chargers Chat put a video out on Instagram where they showed Keenan going out for a route. Williams or whatever, Caleb Williams threw the ball out there, but Keenan had to slow down and stop to catch the ball. And it was definitely heard on that video, Keenan saying, "Oh, hell no." So he was not happy about that for sure. And in fact, going back on that as well, Keenan Allen actually fired his agent for not being able to secure a deal to stay with the Chargers.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
Keenan Allen's not happy. He's not happy about it. So, and then let's go into other stuff too. Like, I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard any rumors about Mike Williams, but Austin Eckler, he's talked a little bit about it. I mean, he knows, you know, he kind of compared Herbert to Rivers and stuff like that, you know, because Rivers, you know, he was a 15-year veteran. He was basically a coach on himself out there on the field at that point. How that was going from Rivers to Herbert was definitely an adjustment period and stuff. And like Herbert was trying to kind of, you know, learn more things about that and stuff. And now he's back to another rookie quarterback. Yep. So And so I'm sure like he was talking about that as like a little bit. I was like, dang, this kind of sucks now. But he was also saying how like, the Chargers moved on from him because they wanted him to run the ball more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heaven forbid that a running back needs to run the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about here? What it's in your freaking name. Running back.
Yeah.
Like what are you saying here? Like Austin, like dude. Yeah. Like
and the thing about it is like Austin Eckler's not one of those guys that's going to run the ball 300 times like they want. He's not a bell cow kind of guy. But once again, I've always looked at Austin Eckler as he's a wide receiver 3. Like with the opportunity to run the ball kind of thing. And I don't think that's going to be something that he was really built for, which, hey, you went out and got Gus Edwards, who's got to be a guy that you could definitely be that dude. J.K. Dobbins could be that actual electric kind of guy for us as long as he's healthy and everything too. So I think it's a good trade-off in my opinion. And we got basically 2 running backs for basically about $4 million, $3 million basically for this year. I'll take it. 2
for the price of 1. I'll take it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All day.
And I thought this is an interesting, concept or idea here is that Eddie talking about what if it would cost the Bolts to trade for Scary Terry McLaurin. I mean, that guy's a stud wide receiver. I think it would really take the Washington, whatever their names are at this point. I mean, they sound like they want to trade back to a different name or change back to the Redskins. Personally, I think they should, but that's me. Scary Terry, man, it would be phenomenal to have him back or have him as a wide receiver. Now we'd be investing a little bit at the wide receiver position at that point. Yeah. Adding way too many more people too many cooks in the kitchen, essentially. I mean, that would be awesome to be able to have McLaurin with this team. But, they keep talking about the whole Brandon Ayuk situation where he might get traded off. Who knows? But that's going to come with a big contract. I think it's like $26 or $28 million that he wants a year. Essentially, what that would be is a wash of what we've had with Keenan or Mike Williams type base contract. We got the money to do it, but do we want to be able to bring in a guy like that? I think that's the whole thing about camp and preseason that's going to tell us where our weaknesses are at and where we need to attack. So if our wide receiver crew doesn't do well, that's where somebody could say, hey, look, let's go after a guy. And you know what it's going to have to do is probably going to be some sort of trade with players with picks type situation if that was to happen. So
yeah, exactly.
Larry's got a question here.
Oh yeah, go for it. Athir had a question first though. Yeah. Is this like
okay.
What kind of season do we see from Palmer? I think over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I could see. I think it's really hard for me to say that we're going to see any wide receiver on our team potentially with 1,000 yards. It might get spread around a lot, and it's kind of hard to say. But currently, Palmer is our wide receiver 1, I would say, just because of veterancy. But hey, competitors welcome, man. He might lose the spot to Ladd. He might lose it to Brenden Rice. I can't. I would like to say Quentin Johnson can do 1,000 yards for 8 touchdowns this year, but I would love to see that, and that would be great because a lot of our Chargers fan base kind of hates him right now. I want to see him flip, and flip around and just do amazing.
And it's my personal view of what the Ravens have done. I mean, they don't have a whole heck of a lot of 1,000-yard receivers on their team.
Yeah,
and I'm saying in the Ravens because that's what we're doing essentially is the Ravens offense. We're going to be kind of a 50-50 type team. The video that I did earlier in the week, showed off a lot of 50-50 breakdowns of pass to running plays kind of thing. So we're probably going to get more 1,000-yard base backs and less 1,000-yard receivers. So you're going to probably see a lot of 800-yard type receivers, maybe 900-yard type thing. Maybe one will be 1,000, maybe one. Because you got to also put in the whole Will Dissly, the Hayden Hurst. Those guys will be targeted. Guaranteed they will be targeted. So
yeah, exactly.
This is going to be a very spread offense. It's almost like I kind of enjoy that in a sense because it's not like saying, hey, look, this is going to be the guy that's going to get cornerback 1. Well, let's just find whoever we could go out there, and whoever's open, Justin Herbert's going to find the guy. That guy reads so well while on the field. That's why we're going to utilize his reading capability to be able to make quick decisions. and that's why we're playing spread football essentially. And I think it's going to be awesome.
Yep. I like this thing from Zach Benson here. Rewatch Stick almost beating Allen and the Bills playing with backups and an interim head coach. Hot take: we're an 8-10 win team with Stick, and this coaching staff this year 12-14 wins with Herbo.
Dude,
let's go.
I am 100% behind that, Zach. I mean, it's not like Stick didn't play bad. It's just we weren't able to get touchdowns. He was able to get into scoring position to get field goals. I mean, during that whole stretch, I think it was like, I want to say it was Dicker probably, I think, was 11 for 12 during that time under an interim head coach. What that says to me is that, hey, man, we were in a scoring position to potentially get touchdowns. It just, we weren't able to drill the ball in. Now, we were playing essentially a, second string offense at that point. Yeah. Stick isn't a bad quarterback. He is not a bad quarterback by any means. And I guarantee with this coaching staff, he's only going to get elevated as a quarterback. So I'm all for that. I like the way that you looked at that, Zach.
I like that. That's good, Zach. Yeah. I think Stick is a good quarterback. It's just he's been benched sitting down like a little bit too long, but he can do a lot. Yeah, I believe it. And I have seen it in the preseason games and stuff like that. But I don't know. He just, given the opportunity, he could do well. And and if we had something to play for, I think, but we just haven't had that opportunity for him yet. So
yep. Yeah, I mean the thing about it is with Easton Stick, he's stuck behind Phillip Rivers and Justin Herbert. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Right. Exactly.
So,
but you know what though, Easton Stick would never do what Matt Stafford's backup did. Oh, what's up? What you got?
Yeah. No, I think we were pressing the button at the same time, but Wes Kine, we need to adopt a new thing. The 49ers have their boombox entrance with it. I just learned about that last year. It trips me out seeing that. Jets have a chant. Green Bay has their cheese heads. We need some sort of kind of hype other than that kid takes off his shirt. Aiden, King Aiden, dude. King and it's like I've been a big fan. If there's a old Chargers cheer song, go Chargers, go, hit them high, hit them low. All right, it sounds like a little lame to be honest, but at the same time, that's what the whole Jets chant kind of thing is. I feel like a lot of these teams in college football, they always have these type of chants that they chant at the stadium. I would love to be able to see something like that. I remember in San Diego, the band POD showing up and having this Charger song that they would play before the game, get the crowd all hyped and stuff. We need to find something that's like that chant that really brings that vibe to the team and let it be a tradition with the team. I think that would be awesome, man.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I really wanted to build something like that, and I admit when I was there at the Chargers facility, I was pushing for something like that. I was like, look, we need just to kind of pay homage to the time that we were at the Dignity Sports Health Center, playing in the Galaxy Stadium. Let's build a supporter section. You got the drum line behind us. Just get them going, get the crowd going. Make the Thunderbolts lead the chant with the freaking drum line. We can come up with some stupid stuff. It doesn't really matter, it'd just be we are bolted till we die. We're bolted till we die. I know I am. I really am. I'm bolted till I die. Obviously we get everyone's chanting that forever. That'd be great. But I guess the hardest part is there's not, we just need to fill stands, and that section right in front of the stage would be perfect for the supporter section right there.
I agree. I agree.
It'd be small, whatever,
awesome.
But
it's kind of like a student section of some sort, at a college football basketball game type thing. I think that would be phenomenal. I think one thing that they should have is a thunder drum. And it's a big drum, like Lord of the Rings. There'd be a guy that's walking into the battle, and he's got a big old drum. Doom, 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 doom. That's kind of an intimidating sound, in my opinion, because it's you feel like this army or this thunder or something's going to be brought to you.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool to do something like that. Just have big old drums just vibrating through the stadium and everything. I think that would be really cool to do something like that. But add a cheer to that in some level too. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. And Eddie, I think this is a really good point. We made the playoffs with Michael Bandy and Andre Carter. We'll be fine. Whatever it is with the wide receivers, we'll be totally fine. When you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert and now a coach like Jim Harbaugh, we'll be plenty fine, guys. We'll be plenty fine. Now, this is a good point, and kind of talked a little bit about it. With the new offense, Herbert's ability to run, how many rushing yards do you think he will have this season? I was kind of contemplating about possibly doing a video about the running backs and talking about what to expect with them. I mean, once again, it's a kind of a thunder and lightning kind of situation with Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. It's going to be big about those guys. Once again, our O-line has a great chance to be a top O-line. I think that it's really going to be fun to be able to watch that. I hope to be able to see 2 1,000-yard running backs, in my opinion, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, just as long as Justin Herbert is not the running back one.
Yeah.
I don't want him like running out there too much. Yeah, I'm fine with him scrambling, but I don't want him out there, rushing for first down quarterback sneaks all the time, do not play him like Lamar Jackson.
Yep, no doubt. And I don't anticipate him. I wouldn't mind seeing him being played like an Allen, like as a Josh Allen. And I think the whole thing is, going back to earlier part of the show, utilize Justin Herbert's legs with a pump fake would be magic. Yes. It will be magic. Oh, yeah. And I don't feel like he ever really does that. I don't personally, and somebody in the comments too said he pump fakes all the time. I don't really think so. Maybe I'm going to go back to the highlights, the 60 minutes of highlights. I feel like he'd never really pump fake. It was always choice and go. Like he never really seemed to slow down.
Yeah.
Or
Mighty's got a good question here for us.
Yep.
How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I believe a woodchuck could chuck a chunk of wood.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that's a tough question. That's one of the tough questions of life, dude.
That's right.
Chuck. But yeah, man. And I think for the most part we're all caught up here on the questions and everything too. Thunder, lightning, Chargers under Jim Harbaugh will be frightening. Let's go. So, my final thoughts here, guys, is I think we've got some really, really good momentum going into the season. I think we have a pretty good stacked team at this moment too. I think we have a good opportunity to be able to, do well and start at the season really well. And once again, just exactly where my thoughts was here. Mighty, thank you once again for the $1.99. We appreciate that, my friend. How likely is it that we start 3-0 in our opinion? I think very likely. I think we have a great chance here. I think week 1 is always a crapshoot type of game. I feel like you're kind of like up in the air because you don't know what is going to be happening week 1. I think we are going to, and Jim Harbaugh understands the Raiders-Chargers, feud. He was a quarterback for the Chargers. He understands how they hate each other. And I think, once again, Jim Harbaugh's a phenomenal coach, and we'll see it week 1. And I think the whole thing about Antonio Pierce, chirping away, just worry about your quarterback, not our quarterback. I saw a lot of the ratings that they have one of the worst O-lines in the league. Like, you understand what's going to happen, guys. Like, your quarterback's going to be on his butt all the time, getting rocked all game. And you best believe Jesse Minter is going to go out there and let them dogs loose. Like, it's going to be bad for your team. And then playing against the Panthers week 2, I really feel the Panthers aren't going to be any better than they are at this point. Steelers week 3, Steelers, once again, that's a team where is it going to be Russell Wilson? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Is their O-line going to be really good? They've been ranked kind of in the back end of the NFL. They got a good defense. Patrick Queen's over there now with TJ Watt. I mean, they have 2 very, very good players on that side. Who knows? But I think 3-0 is a good chance, in my opinion. Now, we're going into such an unknown, so you can't really like base about anything in the past other than what he's done in the past. And all he's done is win. So a big, big early 3-0 start going in against the Chiefs would be massive for this team. Massive.
And I I put it at pretty easy odds. Like I think we're in favor of doing a 3-0 start. I think 100%. Like
very much.
Like our first 3 games are very favorable towards the Chargers. I think so. The big one's going to be obviously against the Chiefs. But fortunately, we do have we have a bye week after the Chiefs, so I think that the players need to put it all on the table on that game. Then we got a week off, like that. There's no reason for them not to put it all on the field and just to go ball out.
And Nick made a great point. Raiders running backs suck royally too, and actually they're rated as one of the worst right now.
Yeah,
I mean, they have Amir Abdullah, I think is his name, and then they got Zamir White, who had kind of a good ending to last year, and they're really betting on that. If you don't got a good O-line, you're not going to have good running game. You're going to be relying on the pass game at that point, and if you rely on the pass game, we're going to let our dogs loose on you, kind of thing. So it's like it's going to be fun to watch. And Mighty, thank you once again, my friend.
Oh man,
$4.99.
Double dip, doubling down. Let's
go,
it, dude.
Baby. I love it, guys.
Hey,
let's go. We should have that money bag sound or something. Like you got a little money sound or something like that.
Yeah. I think I got one. Yeah,
it's like something like from like an 8-bit video game or something like that. That'd be dope.
What was this?
Oh, like a coin, like from like Mario Brothers.
I got it. I'll pull it up here. Yeah, we got.
So Mighty, there you go. I guess that works. So you think we pull off the 4-0, get the Chiefs at the first time we play them, or the second time? Got to get them at least once.
I think usually the Chiefs do start slower. I think
they do. They do.
Yeah. So I think we do have a chance for the 4-0. I think. But I mean the Chargers have started slow too, like the last couple of years as well. Yeah. But that brings up a big question in my mind about preseason. It's like, are we going to see the starters playing in the preseason at all? I mean, obviously we know Brandon Staley didn't do it at all. I don't like it. I don't like the starters not playing at least a little bit in the preseason. I want to see them out there. Agreed. Maybe if it's just one drive, at most one quarter, because I want to. They need to get some game time reps, because then they can see something, happen. I personally feel like, but I don't know what Harbaugh's going to do. I kind of want to go back and look what he did with the Niners and stuff like that, but you just don't know. I mean, you would hate to risk an injury at the very beginning of the season or something, before the even season starts, so I just don't know,
Well, and it's the thing is that Jim Harbaugh's talked about that, where it's like, he's got the yellow jersey on because he's the golden boy. There it is.
That's the one.
There it is.
That's the one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But and the thing is though, you go back to Jim Harbaugh doesn't want to have his crown jewel hit by some guy that's undrafted guy trying to make a play kind of thing, and that's the same thing that can happen in preseason. Now, once again, you can make a game plan to where Justin Herbert is not going to get hit. You can figure out a way to not make him do that, and try to take hits. And so play quick games, quick snaps, throw the ball quick, get it out of his hands, just get it out of it. Just do that. Just run the ball and quick snaps, throw the ball quickly on some slant routes. Just get him in rhythm of being an in-game situation. I think it would be phenomenal for him to do that. Once again, the Chiefs have done that a lot too, where they've had first half where they give basically the starters the first half of I think week 2 game or something like that. So let's go. I mean, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. Now it's a little scary for sure for all of us. We don't want it to happen. So but Mighty, once again, Ben, thanks so much for the support, my man. We really appreciate it. We're doing this channel for you guys. We'd love to be able to chat with you guys. And we appreciate the support, guys, like always.
Yeah. And
but I think I've kind of wrapped up a lot of my last thoughts.
Yes.
So
I agree. We went a lot of ways. It's like, it's all right. Like I said, this was a good stream though. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoy chatting with you guys for sure. So, but I feel like I said though, like final thoughts is like, I mean, I'm not really worried about our offense. I think we're going to be lights out for sure. And when it comes, but I am a little concerned about our defense because we know that that's where we've had problems before. And so, but I do think that Jesse Minter is going to flip all that stuff. We're going to correct a lot of problems there. Maybe we do need to find some more defensive linemen to fill some gaps, add some more depth in that situation. And there's a lot of good defensive linemen that are available out there. And I just don't know, what we can do to fix that, because our run defense has been horrible. But I think that's going to be huge. If we can stop the run and get that chant back, you can't run. You can't run. You can't run.
Yeah, dude, that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved that era. That era was such a good era. The best.
Yeah.
What was it? Castillo and oh my gosh, what's his other name? There was
Luis Castillo, Jamal Williams,
and then you also had oh gosh, my brain is not working, man. I woke up early today. Oh gosh. Yeah. Anyways, Igor Shansky. Yeah. Igor Shansky.
Igor, yeah, that's right. Igor, that's right.
Igor, dude. Freaking, that was a great time, man.
No, it's not Igor. It's Igor. Yeah, that's
right. Igor.
Yeah. Oh, Mighty again with the two.
Mighty coming in here, dude.
199. Hey, but you know what? Yeah, we will see you next time, because we're gonna try and link up with you at the Falcons game for sure. Yeah, heck yeah.
No doubt, man. Yeah, that'll be so sick, dude. That'll be a great game to be at. Looking forward to that. Great one. Yeah.
And
cheap food in that stadium apparently too. So.
Oh, dude, man, we're gonna eat like kings up in there, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be good, dude. But yeah, Mighty, appreciate the support once again, man. So.
Yeah. But I don't know. We've been at this for about an hour and 36 minutes now, So, but just again though, guys, there's camps coming up. It's gonna be a lot of cool things going on. The first weekend, there's a couple of parties to go to. And then the second weekend, there's a couple parties as well. So we'll have a good time though, for sure. We'll try and be there, and we got a whole bunch of good things coming, for the season. And bolt up, baby. We're gonna have a good time.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait, man. I love this part of the year where we're starting to get close to football season. It's hot as balls out here in Arizona, but outside of that, football's starting, boys, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
We're almost there.
We're almost there, guys. Yes. And once again, these are the real fans, in my opinion. I don't say they're not real fans, but these are the diehards, in my opinion, that are over here on the stream checking us out, dude. Because, once again, this is kind of that dead time. There's so many guys that I try to chat football with them, and they're like, oh, I'm watching baseball. All right, cool, man. Watch baseball, dude. But, I want to watch football, and I want to, deep dive into the season while the season's over with, and, understand what we're expecting this season. So, once again, guys, shout out to everybody on these streams, by the way, man. Shout out.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah. And shout out to 818 over here. I'm not done. What's up, my man? And the 619 for all the San Diego fans, all that stuff. Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So,
all right, well, let's get out of here.
Get on out of here, man.
Yeah. So, we appreciate you guys. Love you. But I'll see you tomorrow for my Madden stream.
Let's go.
Probably be more closer to afternoon-ish. But yeah, so I gotta handle some church in the morning. So but I'll catch you guys later, and appreciate you.
That's right. Bros. Let's go.